Gemini, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, any channel messages that come through, and integrate it with some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness living lifestyle habits, things that you can really integrate into your day-to-day living, helping overcome some of the challenges, some of the obstacles that you are facing. Wellness is really our best foundation, the best foundation we can set for ourselves when it comes to achieving goals, right? So that's what we're all about here. All right, let's get into it, Gemini. So we are in Gemini season. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a fabulous season thus far. I hope you're celebrating. I hope you're enjoying every moment of it. I definitely have a special fondness for Geminis. My son is a Gemini. I've had some good friends that are Geminis as well. So love the vibes, love the energy. Always something going on, right? But yeah, we're in Gemini season. It's nice because it's been helping open up the flow in the day-to-day, right? Especially around the things that we're kind of looking to achieve, the goals or certain desires of our heart that we're trying to draw in, that we're trying to manifest. And Gemini energy helps open up that movement, that communication, new opportunities coming in. It also helps change up situations with that value of duality. If something's been moving in one direction for a long period of time, Gemini allows other options to come in, especially where there's stagnancy or resistance or people, situations refusing to participate, right? So we started off this week with a full moon in Sagittarius, all about expansion, growth, kind of catering to that energy I was just talking about. And we're coming into one of the most fortunate or the most fortunate transits in the astrology. Jupiter positively aspected in conjunction with Venus. And that is directly centered around our abundance, our wealth, our prosperity, the way we beautify our life, the relationships, people, the hobbies we love, etc. All those things that bring in that goodness. And so even though, I feel like with the full moon in Sagittarius, it really is asking us to temper our forces, i.e. not bulldoze ahead, not force the issue, not try to make something happen if it's just not ready. We need to be patient and aware of what we're actually dealing with to work smarter, not harder, that type of vibe. And I feel like it's all kind of catering towards whatever, this transit in the astrology, Jupiter in conjunction with Venus, whatever that's bringing into your life, whatever it kind of delivers for you. We'll see. I'm very excited. So with that in mind, I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because like I was saying in the very beginning, when we're aligned in self, when we're grounded and have a strong foundation to work from, that is when we're tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. We're able to manifest things way easier. And I would totally love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up, Gemini. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, my love. All right, Gemini. So you do feel like a little worn out or depleted or I don't know. It feels depleted. I think that's a good way to what I'm picking up is what I should say. Maybe you're tired of a certain situation. a certain person, having to deal with it in a certain way all the time. It feels like an overwhelm, because that's what I keep picking up here, like, when is this going to end type vibe. Like, when is this going to end? When are things going to get a little bit better? Okay, this makes a lot of sense for your overarching energy, tame and attain, right? So we've actually been getting this a lot in the zodiac readings. Don't take it personally. It is just about tempering our forces, like tempering our emotions, the way we show up into certain situations, dynamics, how that might be received, what we're communicating, and how that might be received, how that might come across. Because, like I was talking about with that full moon in Sagittarius, it's great to have goals and ambition. And if anything, fire energy, which Sagittarius is, it's all about making it happen, you know? Fire energy will bulldoze ahead, and it can be very intense, very aggressive. But at the same time, like I was talking about, like, we need to know what to do and when and how to do it. So awareness is key. And I feel like there just might be some things, okay, almost there. So I like this message for you, especially with the first channeled message. And I feel like this has been coming through a lot in the astrology, in the collective readings. I've also seen other YouTubers, tarot readers who are tapping into the same energy. And it does have this vibe of like just being patient. Being patient and not holding on to a lot of expectations of how things are going to unfold. Allowing yourself to commit to whatever process you are endeavoring, while letting go of the past, not letting that be your full front focus, or not bringing it into the future with you. I feel like this is more about releasing, and this might be just some sadness, grief, depression that you've been moving through, or that you have moved through, a situation that it makes you emotional, and it's really hard to get out of your head. And I feel like whatever that is for you, it's just lingering, you know? It's almost like you can't shake it. I love this reminder though, small steps, big accomplishments. It's that reminder that like each step we take every day is so valuable. Even if it doesn't feel like it, even if we do it begrudgingly, you know, I can say in my own life, I've really been challenging myself to just refine. I can be a little scattered because I'm always doing a bajillion things, and that doesn't necessarily produce good results. And I'm not trying to make this about me. It's just my for example, right? But as I'm like retraining myself to be a little bit more honed in, you know, a little more structured is maybe a better way to say it. I'm seeing this value of like each day, and just committing to it, putting a good effort forward. And it really does change up the energy, especially when we are dealing with sadness, depression, or disappointment around how certain things have gone. I think that because it's really messed with your emotional world, or you have a lot of feels around whatever this is for you, that's where this tame and attain is very important. Because again, it's about your own sanity. It's not about giving people hall passes when they don't deserve it or justifying bad behavior. It's actually more about being like grounded, centered in self, that we're not getting thrown every which way. And it looks like it looks like you're making progress. Like actually I see a lot of progress being made this week. I see that you are able to let go, that you are able to kind of, and maybe it's not a complete release, you know, healing has its own prerogative. Like sometimes you can be good and you feel like you overcame something, and then something pops up to just pull you right back into whatever, right? And not that I wish that for you, obviously. We're always growing, we're always evolving. So even if we do get pulled back into something, we can also acknowledge the places where we become a little bit stronger and better. And that's what I see for you. I think this is a lot about just knowing self and establishing your boundaries. I think you've had a hard time establishing boundaries. It also feels like that might be something that someone's infiltrating, or you kind of just feel like whatever this past energy is, especially if you still have to deal with a person, a dynamic, that you're still healing things over, or still trying to heal through whatever has happened. It might be challenging to have boundaries right now, especially like when we have certain expectations and we hope things are going to go in a certain direction, right? Like, especially with our relationships, you know, we get excited, we get hopeful that things can heal and grow. And maybe you're just kind of trying to keep things happy right now as well. Like you don't want to rock what is it? You don't want to upset the apple cart? Is that the saying? I should check with my sayings before I record because I don't know, but I think that is it, you know, but it does have this vibe of like, you just don't want to make someone mad. Like you might be very appeasing to them, struggling, like I said, to kind of set some boundaries, like know yourself, know your wants and needs, especially as it relates to whatever has happened. Don't try to force yourself to heal, or if you need a break, being able to like be okay with that, communicate that, allow yourself to have the space to take the time and the space that you need. Okay, the Empress, I love this. Such a beautiful energy to start the reading off with. So vibing more in this, yeah, I love this. The Empress, 10 of Pentacles. This is really beautiful. This is just like feeling very safe and secure in home and in self as well. The Empress has mastered like all the queens, right? All the different energies of the queens in the tarot. The Empress is the full embodiment, and she's mastered all those different aspects of herself. And she's able to provide, like, I think this is just, it's such a beautiful energy for you. Gosh, dude, I almost said Scorpio, then I almost said Virgo, Gemini. You might be dealing with some of those signs. I'm seeing that you are being given space this week to feel a little bit more safe and comfortable, especially as it relates to home, family, wherever you find your nurture and support, even if that's not through your family, right? We can find that in a lot of different ways. Okay, 2 of Cups is being withheld. All right, let's see what that's all about. Okay, 7 of Cups. Yeah, I see that. It's like you don't really want to, either like there's a lot of options on the table. Maybe you want someone to take a different direction or like make a different decision around a relationship. And it looks like I said, it does look like you feel, okay, there's our Emperor. You might be caught in the middle of something is what it looks like, Gemini. Yeah, like it looks like you're just having a hard time getting on the same page as someone. And this could just be both of you are at different places, different perspectives. But it also looks like for some of you, there might be some other people involved and you're like stuck in the middle of a dynamic where it doesn't really look, it looks like there's a lot of impasse. And again, it feels like something that probably hasn't been healed. It probably hasn't been dealt with. And so there's just a lot lingering. I feel like you're just trying to keep things simple is what I'm seeing. You might be a homebody this week, or, you know, just kind of focusing more on yourself, kind of nurturing, supporting yourself, trying not to get too involved with anything messy because you do have the 7 of Cups in your blocked energy. So it's like you don't really want to, you don't see potential to move forward in a situation. There's something where it's like, it is what it is and no one's budging and that's what it is, right? And as a result, people are kind of doing their own thing, making their own choices, their own self-serving choices. I think that, again, this is something that's hard for you to wrap your mind around because it does feel like such an impasse. It does look like there's a little more opportunity to unfold. I was hearing more to the story and then opportunity came out. 2 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and Knight of Cups. It's definitely an energy of someone not giving you enough of their time and energy, or maybe even like taking your wants, needs into the equation. Because with this Emperor, 6 of Wands, it feels like someone just isn't paying attention to you, might even be paying attention more to other things that are happening, or like things that might be relevant in your situation. But like I said, it's giving this energy that you're getting the short end of the stick. And this is where those expectations come into play, right? If someone keeps showing us they can only do so much, then we need to pull back a little bit, adjust those expectations, not keep putting yourself in a position where, I don't know, you see some, like, I feel like there's a little distrust in someone, distrust about what they're going to do, like what are their next moves. I think you have certain expectations about how they should show up for you, and it feels like it's just not happening. And I think that this is where continuing to take small steps, set boundaries for yourself, so it's not feeling so, you're going to need these. That's what I'm hearing. Like, whatever work you're doing this week is setting the stage for what is to come. Because I feel like there's a lot going on, and I think taking a new perspective around what has brought you to this point is very important. I'm not saying to like gaslight yourself or lie about what has happened or give someone more credit than is due. It's not about that. It's more about like making peace with understanding yourself, how it affected you, what your wants and needs are, so that you can carry that into the future, being a little bit more clear about what the future holds or what you want your future to hold, right? We can't always dictate what comes our way, but we can totally choose whether we're going to take something on or not. Because it does look like you are going to have the opportunity to patch things up, or this Emperor is offering you something that might even be tempting, but you're not really... You're going to need to know exactly where you stand in order to make the best decision for yourself. That's what I'm getting at. So you might be letting someone infiltrate a little bit too much right now, Gemini. I'm so sorry to say this, but it has this energy of like continuing to let someone get away with something. That's how it feels. And it doesn't even have to be like horrible things. I'm not trying to fearmonger. That's not what we're about. It just has like bad vibes. Or like I said, they're not even taking you into consideration, into account. And maybe you have a lot of expectations on what this relationship is for you. And then the delivery is not adding up, right? There is this huge disconnect. And so it feels disappointing, but I also see you being hopeful. Well, if I try this way, or if I try this way, or, you know, kind of where this 7 of Cups is working against you. It's the hope that it's going to look a little bit different. But again, this person dynamic keeps showing up that it's more going to be about their own wants and needs versus your wants and needs. And like I said, they might give you something. It looks like some decisions coming up on the table. It does look like you're going to have to choose one way or another. You might even have to choose between 2 people, 2 situations, 2 different opportunities. Yeah. The sun and eclipse. So you know the change is on the horizon. When is our next eclipse? Ooh, I don't know. Is it like at the end of the summer? So we are in eclipse season right now. I apologize. I can't remember. My mind is a little fuzzy right now, Gemini. I apologize. I think it was in April. I want to say like March or April. I feel like I should know this, so, you know, don't judge me. But it had, you know, so you're essentially, this feels like you're preparing for the change, or you should be, whatever that means. Getting a little bit clear, again, where you stand, where you're at, what feels comfortable, how much you want to give someone, being, more balanced. And maybe you will get more balance with this Empress energy, Empress 2 of Cups. This feels, like I said, the beginning of the reading felt like really safe. It felt really secure, really protected. Like you do have a safe space to kind of process through and figure all this stuff out. So you can achieve or have a little bit more balance and harmony in your life. It's important because I feel like if you don't acknowledge, then it might end up putting you in a position that you don't really want to be in, right? Whether you want to call it looping back into karma, another cycle of karma, when we make the same choices over and over and over again and expect different results, really getting in touch with what you desire with this Scorpio card. Pluto's in retrograde, and Pluto is the sign, or it is the planet of transformation. It is, and through that, like grit and determination, it definitely has a lot of Phoenix energy around it. And so we need to be able to like tap into that power. Maybe it's hard to make certain decisions for yourself, again, because of what you hope or what you think it's eventually going to look like. But you know that change is on the horizon. The waning crescent definitely highlights that. It's when the moon phase cycle is finally ending. We're coming back to the new moon, the dark moon, where we have, and we're trying to release those last bits and pieces of things that haven't really been working from before, right? From the past. And I think that there is some readjustment that needs to be done. You know this. I think you're making steps towards it. So you're aware of it to some capacity. But again, maybe there's a little bit of attachment, hope, expectation that something is going to play out differently than what it actually is. And if you continue to hold on to that and don't have awareness around it, then like I was saying, that's what's going to get you back into something that you might not want to be a part of, or that it's not even that you don't want to be a part of it, but it just like might not feel as satisfying or as fulfilling as you had hoped. And I think that you have a choice. You have choices. You have choices. Maybe not this week, but in the future, you have choices that are going to kind of dictate what the next phase of your life looks like. Big choices, choices that might be a little bit hard to make, but the clearer you get on yourself, your wants and needs, the easier it's going to be. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for your time, energy always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear or just share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. Know that it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.